YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. We've got another beautiful Bell 206. This is the C138 Pro. Notice the LEDs. And yes, I did take a marker and mark the bottom sides and the back sides of the blades on the tail rotor because they were just marked on the top, but it looks so dang good. This thing is all new from RC Era. The Pro feature gets you a brushless motor. We had some conversation on the main rotor. Of course, the tail is still gonna be a brushed motor. Love the lights here. You don't have to do any assembly. Ours came as a bind and fly. Full disclosure, this will allow you to do the upside down flight mode. But if you have the old black style for a simpler style, not old, but just a black style from a simpler non-inverted flight function, it will still bind, okay? We have already bound ours so that for the thumbnail, we had the lights on, forward-facing light, very cool. But I'm gonna do it again for you. Power is going to be turned off by pressing that button. You notice all the lights are off. Now I'm gonna turn off my transmitter. From start, you're gonna press and hold the power button, listen for the audible beep, lay it on your helicopter launching pad. Hopefully you have one. And then you're going to turn on your transmitter. You're gonna go up and then down. And it beep beeps, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take off and fly before your very eyes. Okay, speed 1, 2, and 3, slide it to the right to go faster. You have to be in speed 3, up, and then tell it which way you want it to rotate to go upside down. They suggest 3 meters of height, but I don't think it knows. Oh, one other cool feature on the Pro that I wanna just make sure to show you before we fly is right there, a downward facing optical flow sensor. Keep in mind that optical flow sensors are not well known for working over water. Doesn't mean the plane or helicopter won't fly over water, it's just not gonna try to hold its position as good as it would because it's using imaging to hold position in time and space. Not auto leveling, not pitch control, not yaw control so much, but position control, okay? All right, so without further ado, sticks down and out or takeoff. I'm gonna go sticks down and out to arm it. I'm gonna use the up to go up and take off. It will go to altitude and then it will be fully controllable. Beautiful. This is in speed 1. As you can see, we are flying in the wind. So I'm gonna go to speed 3 right off the bat just because I wanna be able to overwhelm the little bit of wind that's coming through this corridor of trees. This is going to be an outdoor capable helicopter. As you can see, it is capable and it is outdoors. Just flying here, we're gonna go right over the top of the camera crew. I'm giving about 10% input on the stick, barely moving the sticks. And look how stinking awesome the disc looks on that thing. I love it. Yes, definitely take the marker, mark the bottom so you can see them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, I love the way it looks. Now, the wind is really fighting me there, but we have a pretty windy day here in central Iowa. And the cool thing about helicopters is that you can oftentimes fly them in wind, okay? This is probably on the border of what it can handle, but we're gonna go ahead and fly it for you nonetheless, okay? So this helicopter does inverted flight, as in one-touch inverted flight. It does hold position very well. You can definitely fly it indoors, no problemo. I would suggest if you're going to fly it indoors that you familiarize yourself maybe in the garage or in a bigger living room or something like that. Just make sure you can control it and also make sure you don't have a ceiling fan blowing like crazy because it is impacted a little bit by wind. We love this thing. It flies very good. We have had another one, but it was the non-pro version, which has a brushed motor, and yet it does absolutely fantastic still. But look how sweet this police livery looks. And with the lights, you just can't get enough because those lights really help to sell the full scale look and appeal. And I'll show you as I go over water, it may break loose a little bit from the optical flow control, but frankly, I don't feel like the optical flow sensor works all that great on this helicopter anyway. And so you'll notice a little bit more drifting than you might see on other aircraft as I let go of the sticks. It might try to migrate back to where it left off. You'll notice that it's a little bit frustrating to work with but it is quite windy right now, so I'm not super worried about it. And I gotta say, good control authority, but not unlimited. Also, now that we have it outside, I'm gonna go up and over.
Okay.
Up and over is tight, actually. I might need to be a little bit careful about that. There is a flashing taillight. Don't think you're low on battery if you see that. Oh yeah, very good. Didn't crash. Remember, this helicopter does fly a little bit better when you get moving, okay? So move it forward and fly the aircraft, okay? If you're just trying to hold still, it will hold still very good, but it does better in a calm environment, just like every other helicopter we've ever seen, okay? So very cool, very beautiful, very gorgeous, okay? Man, I love this helicopter. Bell 206s are like one of my all-time favorite helicopters. I hope someday to have a real one when I have $1 billion from having, what's that guy that emailed us from the king?
Well, that prince from like Nigeria, he was going to send us some money.
When he finally sends that payment, he promised, then we'll go ahead and get a Bell 206.
Perfect.
Maybe they'll just send the Bell 206. Keep the $1 billion, just send the Bell, okay? So absolutely gorgeous flying environment, blessed to be in this awesome environment. And we love showcasing helis in this spot because this is just so dang cool. Let's go to the National Park, camera crew.
Okay.
You ready? National Park here. Let's fly by the Sequoia.
Okay.
This is our Sequoia. It's a simulated Sequoia, of course. And with the brushless motor, you do have a little bit more power to go up and down, but there's quite a lengthy delay on up and down, but it flies just fine in the clear. As you can see, the head speed seems to slow down a lot when you come down. That's normal and not unusual, okay? So don't be surprised. Now let's go out here and let's do some upside down flight performance. Out there. Okay, so we're up here, inverted flight, one touch inverted. Full disclosure, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is kind of neat, so I'm gonna show it anyway. Okay, so pressing up, listen for the deet deet, and then tell it where you wanna go. Now, watch this. It flies like a normal helicopter, and you're flying it with ordinary controls. The one issue you're gonna watch out for is there is no optical flow sensor now because it's pointed up in the sky, okay? So my suggestion is, while you don't need to worry about the GPS taking over, I would be very careful. You need to give me a corridor there, camera crew, so I can bring it in here. It's so dang cool. And as you can see, I colored the bottom of the disc, and cool. It is so dang sweet. Every time I do this, I think, what a gimmick. And then I see it, and I get such a heck of a kick out of it, because even though you have an optical flow sensor here, the helicopter still flies upside down. And yes, I would let go of the stick, except I've got a little bit of wind here, so it's gonna push and drift, okay? So yes, your yaw is in the correct direction as though it were upright. Your pitch is in the correct direction as though you were upright, and you can fly it along nature walk style. Remember, if you see those lights start flashing, you better flip over immediately. That's my suggestion.
Oh, true.
By the way, this is our bridge, guys. We built this bridge. If you ever want to see one of these crazy projects we did, here on Brian Phillips RC, we have them available in our house build. Oh, look, another bridge. That's kind of cool. We haven't showed the people the next bridge. Let's just keep flying upside down because it's doing a great job. Now, can I flip upright in this area? I don't know. I'm going to go up to altitude, like here, and I'm going to just go ahead and press up and then flip. Booyah! There it is. Now we have the optical flow sensor, people. So dang cool. That is awesome, guys. Here on Brian Phillips RC, we love to share our real-life experience of RC addiction, okay? It's like Alcoholics Anonymous minus the alcoholism, okay? All I've got to say is this is so much fun, and similar to alcoholism, you'll end up broke, but the difference is you have lots of awesome toys, okay? Watching for the risk of crash, I am gonna keep a close eye on those flashing LEDs.
Yeah.
If they start flashing, you will get a warning of up to 15, 20, 30 seconds, and you will be golden, okay? So, as you can see, we're getting a little bit of wind there, and the optical flow sensor has been overwhelmed by Mother Nature. And yes, there are beetles in that bag.
I was trying to avoid it, but.
So, guys, this is our newest bridge. I'm just gonna go across the bridge. Hopefully it doesn't break while I'm walking across it. It hasn't broke yet. That's pretty awesome. So this is so much fun, guys. This helicopter is doing great given that it is not dead calm. Look at the bag swinging like crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty windy.
That's what the helicopter is trying to do as well. And yet it's holding on tight. So here on Brian Phillips RC, we aim to please. And when we aim to please, what we want you guys to get out of it is a decision, a point of decision. Can you live without this amazing helicopter? The answer is maybe. I would guess most of us might be able to survive without it, but I would say you're probably on the wrong channel if you're in that crowd, because we love these sort of things. And this helicopter is really well done, given it is brushless, given it is beautiful, given it is small. Audible feedback.
Yep.
Audible feedback. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just gonna stop counting and you're gonna pay attention to the approximate timestamp there, camera crew, if you can. And we'll just fly around. I don't know if we'll make it back to our landing zone though, camera crew.
Probably not, but I guess we can head that way.
Let's go fly by this giant oak that we planted a few years ago.
Oh,
Oh, it's dead. Okay, full disclosure, hit stop if you want it to stop. And there you have it. That was a pretty good flight time.
Roughly 20 seconds on the warning from flash to fast flash.
Perfect. Now, it also stays in a fast flash mechanism here. So you can see all of the LEDs flash at pace, and there is an audible feedback from the transmitter. So we have telemetry on this tiny little helicopter that is so dang beautiful. And I gotta say, RC Era is outdoing itself. They are making some of the most fun little helicopters that we have seen to date. We're gonna go through the exhaustive Unbox build radio setup. That exhaustive is kind of a joke because it's only exhaustive because I'm involved.
Yes.
The truth is this thing takes minutes to pull out of the package and even less time. Camera crew, if you would. That was just a black walnut falling.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't fall on our head.
No kidding.
Oh, there's only like 50 of them up there.
Oh, good.
Go ahead and look up. Might as well show them.
That's probably dangerous. Okay.
Holy cow, there's a bunch of them up there. Okay, so pressing the power button, you'll notice that you have to press these in, and then it comes right out. 350 milliamp hour 2S, and it's a little toasty. I'm gonna just put it on the camera crew. Is it toasty?
Yeah, it's a little toasty.
So at the end of the day, can you live without this? I don't know if most of us could. Maybe, if we knew we got some other amazing product. But I gotta say, I really appreciate when a helicopter comes out of the package, does everything it says it does, and does a pretty good job of it. Now, full disclosure, it is windy up there. Let's go over by this giant oak that we planted. Okay, it's a red oak, by the way, in case you guys are curious. Look at this. We planted this when we moved in. It was like this tall.
It was just a little sapling.
And
nothing.
I've pruned this quite a bit. Isn't it cool to see nature work? And as we have been in this environment, you guys have been following along here on Brian Phillips RC. We have spent so much effort behind the scenes trying to make a cool environment with which to share these amazing products. But you don't need a cool environment to enjoy this. You can enjoy this in a simple apartment complex. You may even be able to make some toilet wine in your prison cell if you tip the guards enough. You might have to buy two though, one for the guards, one for you. This is awesome. Guys, that's a running joke in case you haven't ever watched Brian Phillips RC. But at the end of the day, we love this hobby. We want to bring you guys the best that we can do. And a lot of times what that means is showing the flaws. And the flaws are very limited on this. I'm going to tell you the one flaw that this system has, and that is you have no ability to turn off auto leveling. That is a flaw. I'm going to point it out until they add it. But if they add it and they don't give us a mechanism to turn it on and off easily, I figure most people that are flying this type of heli may not be proficient in flying helis, okay? So, RC Era, if you're listening, and I doubt you are, give us that feature. I know you already have it because this thing is super capable and I want to be able to unlock its full capabilities. So as a pilot, I can advance into the hobby grade experience with a toy grade price. And I'm going to just tell you this. If you don't need the brushless motor and you don't need the pro features, get the regular one. It is a really good heli. The C138 is one of my all-time favorite micro helis. And they just came out with another one. That's the C60, right?
A60.
A60.
Micro, the mini
right.
one. Yep.
Now also pay attention to the blade. This is a 3D flying heli. It has a simple blade design, but the airfoil is top and bottom. So it is a different blade design than the standard C138.
Non-pro. Yep.
Okay. Now, in our unbox, there's a little bit of ambiguity as to whether or not this has a brushless main rotor. It does. We checked while we were between filming, and so we wanted to remove that ambiguity. Also, this is bind and fly, so I'm going to show you how hard it is to bind. This is off. Okay. This is what you do 100% of the time when you fly these RC era helis. Turn it on, then turn on your transmitter. Fast flash, up, down, it's bound. That is literally the process. So if you buy this as a bind and fly, that's the process. You don't need to hook it up to a computer. You don't need to, you know, take a receiver out and, you know, put a bind plug on or anything like that. By the way, there is a small light on this battery pack, and as you press that power button, it's going to turn it on or off. This pack turns on or off. This helicopter doesn't know any better. You are turning on the battery, and the battery is energizing the helicopter. Okay, if you get the A60, you don't have a power switch on your pack, but that's a 260 milliamp 1S pack. I think I might have misspoke in our review on that. I thought maybe it was 2S. But absolutely gorgeous. Come with me, nature walk style. So Brian Phillips RC loves to share nature with you. This is the waterway that feeds our pond. It's actually technically not a waterway, it's just a ditch. We should have taken off from here, camera crew.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Let's make a helipad here next.
Oh,
that was a big old frog. Show him the frog. He's on the, oh, did you get him in time?
Maybe he was like jumping.
Yeah.
He's a big guy.
So there's fish, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Nature is happening all around us. This is what we call fall. If you're from California and you just have one season, hot.
Oh, well, I thought there was a giant spider, but it's a leaf.
No, well, that's a big spider.
There's a big spider web, but you won't be able to see that.
I'm glad I didn't fly through it. It probably would have caught the helicopter.
Probably.
Speaking of catching the helicopter, if you would crash this helicopter, which I didn't actually crash this one. It's kind of miraculous. The blade should sweep out of the way. I don't expect you're going to get a lot of damage, but just like anything else, if you hit something and it falls out of the sky, you might bust something, okay? But I'm not going to make or break a heli over crash resistance. But our experience with these, this is light. It's absolutely sub 250. We do show the weight in the Unbox build radio setup portion, which follows immediately after this flight. What a great job. RC era, keep them coming. Multiple libraries available. Buy it from the links in the video description below. You'll support Brian Phillips RC. And if you don't want to buy this, oh, one other thing. Get as many batteries as you can afford when you order it. Order it with as many batteries. They are unique to the aircraft, but we share our 3 of this size between 2.
The pro and the non-pro. And now it's raining leaves. Holy cow.
That would have been kind of a bummer if I was flying. That would have been cool if I would have hit those. Holy cow.
And the walnuts.
This is so beautiful. But guys, they're falling all around us. It's snowing. Sounds pretty intense when they fall. If it falls on my, look at that. That is so crazy. It's like... So guys, they call it fall for a reason. We try to share experiences, and that's what we do right here on Brian Phillips RC. If you haven't already subscribed, click the bell for notifications when you do subscribe. We want to bring you more RC content, help you make decisions between this and a plethora of also really good helicopters, quads, VTOLs, airplanes, and of course leaf blowers occasionally. Bikes and stuff like that. But we love bringing this stuff to you, and we love being first when it happens. This one, I don't think we're first on it, which is
but
totally
it's fairly new. The Pro is pretty new.
And the Pro is a new feature, so it is not the same as the old one. We were fearing that it might be an identical helicopter, and we were just going to be showing like 2 LEDs here. That's what I thought it was. But even just the LEDs alone are enough for me to consider the Pro, because we talk about it all the time. I love LEDs on aircraft. They make the scale features look so much better and so much more real. I actually like the library better on the non-pro version. So check out your different choices. They spelled police all stupid. I'm just joking, guys. I know it's foreign. What is it, Italian?
I think it's Italian.
Okay. So that being said, guys, we hope we answered all your questions about this heli. If we didn't, or if you want to share an experience or have a question, leave it in the comments below. We'll be first to answer them if we can. And if we don't answer them, we'll actually have an opportunity for all you guys to chime in and help answer questions for each other. If you want to support us in other ways and you just can't put this in your fleet for one reason or another, check out the links in the video description below. You can head over to brianphillipsrc.com or just type into your Explorer bprc.me. You can sort by type and find all sorts of other content related to helicopters or a particular type of airplane that are sorted by type for you by camera crew. When you're there, you'll have links to all the playlists and also links to buy them there. But as always, in the video description, you'll find this particular item, okay? Remember, get one in bind and fly. If you already have a transmitter and you want to use one that you had before, full disclosure, you can use the other style. We'll demonstrate in the unbox portion. Or you can get it ready to fly if you want to get it. Ours came with one battery in a singular box. And that seems to be a pretty popular way of doing it these days because a lot of people have a lot of these transmitters.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that the transmitter does not add a lot of cost. So my suggestion is if you do buy one, make sure you're marking them so you know which helis they go with. But at the end of the day, it actually doesn't matter. And they take 4 AA's. So add that to your cost considerations. Hopefully we answered all your questions. If you want to support us and you just can't bring yourself to buy this particular item, we have 4 other ways, 5 technically. Patreon for monthly support, YouTube members for monthly support, YouTube super thanks for one-time donations, PayPal for one-time donations, or if you want to send us something at the P.O. Box, just give us a heads up so we know to look forward to it. We don't check often, okay? But I got to say, RC Air is doing great work. We rarely see, well, actually, we've never seen anything from RC Air that we don't like. And with that new A60 size, which is about roughly 3/5 to 2/3 the size of this, the sky's the limit, quite literally. I can't wait to see what's next. Those small helis are really good still, okay? Yeah. So they market them as indoor, but you could easily fly them outside. Probably not on this wind condition.
Right.
Though. You'd want to do it on a
dead calm
day.
You'd be fine, I think.
Okay. All right. Questions, comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, stay tuned. Unbox next. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. It's coming right now. YouTube, Brian Phillips. We're going to open this package right here. We have a knife.
That knife is so noisy.
That knife did a really good job.
Effective.
So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we unbox them and then we fly them and we show you all the different setup that's necessary. And in this case, we're going to be looking at the C138 Pro, which is a brand new upgraded feature packed Bell 206 from RC Era. Now,
cool.
You may notice behind me, we'll go into the differences between the Pro version and the non-Pro version as we unbox this beauty. Wow, that is sweet looking. Cool. First of all, beautiful details, forward-facing light. We got the line cutter up above, antenna. These are split, I noticed, and there is a downward-facing camera. Oh, we have LEDs here. Awesome, and an LED there. That's simulated LED, and then brushed motor on the back, and then it looks like the main, I can't tell what the main one is.
I believe it's brushed.
Yeah, I can't tell, but there is an integral battery, like what we've seen. Ooh, love this type of blade. It's so cool looking, but it's not marked on the bottom. Ooh, one tip. If you guys like the way that those blades look, because they're very easy to mark, when you've got a good reference from a top mark, you can carry that under with a black marker or a respective red marker. I did that just the other day on the other one we did. So that's all that comes in the box. You're probably thinking, but this is a ready to fly. No, this one's a bind and fly, okay? So as a result of being bind and fly, it only comes with the battery, and then for whatever reason, this one came with a screwdriver. I don't know why it came with a screwdriver, but as you can see, The size is very good. It's not huge, but it's not dinky. And it has all the features of this, but more, okay?
Yes.
So you see, this is the new C60, okay? This is the C138, and this is the C138 Pro. So a couple things to keep in mind. This one has a different livery, so it's got the police livery. This one has the LEDs you see on the tail booms.
Simulated.
This one has a downward facing sensor, same battery. So you can use the same battery, okay? And as you can see, it's got a slightly different blade design. So if you really like this blade design, of course, you could interchange those, which is pretty cool. But this is not to be confused necessarily with this model, which has the TOF sensor and the downward optical flow. So this one has optical flow and TOF sensor. I don't care about those sensors. And by the way, the batteries are different sizes because they mesh with the livery of the actual aircraft and the shape of the nose. This is the brand new, recently released. This one is a Bell 206. It has a downward facing optical sensor. Not a big fan of the optical sensor on that one. The flow sensor doesn't seem to work as well as I'd like. It is an indoor heli. It flies at a much higher head speed, and it's a little bit harder to fly than these bigger models in our expectation, okay? In our experience, rather. This is the type of transmitter that you would bind to either or any of these, but you'll lose some features. If they support upside down flight, you need these buttons. So when you're looking at the transmitters, other than one, I think one model that's really old, they all come with one of these two styles. So you have a 3-speed sensor, or 3-speed. You have a stop button versus a takeoff landing button. Like this has a takeoff / landing button. So you arm and you can take off that way, or you can press that button to take off. I believe on this heli, you may also just stop the heli. So you would arm and then take off, or calibrate, okay? Calibrate the gyro. So the reason we show you this is because these are the same size class, and some may actually prefer the more matte finish here, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. But this one is gonna carry more features because of the lights, and I believe this one will do the upside down flight, whereas this one won't. Now, you'll notice that the blade design is different, see? This one has an omnidirectional blade, and this one has a flat blade.
It's really hard to see that.
Can you, how do you want me to hold it? So
Set them down on the counter.
Okay,
So they're
we're gonna try to give you guys a view of this. We're doing this video in an unusual way because we don't normally show the differences between a fixed pitch and more of like a true collective pitch. But you can also tell that the blade holders are different on this, okay? So as soon as the camera crew gets you the view of that, I wanna show a very small difference, okay? Look at the blade holder on this design versus the blade holder on that design. Give them a top view right there. You can see they're just slightly different, and these blade holders have a longer lever arm than these blade holders, okay? So this coupling or lever or whatever you call that thing is longer. Now also, if you look at like the Hueys, they have the same style. So I was saying earlier that they're interchangeable. Well, they're not really interchangeable, but this would work on that. This one would just not necessarily give you the right flight performance on this, okay? So we show you those differences for a reason, because this helicopter in our particular review came as a bind and fly, okay? So that means we'll need to charge the battery. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, if it's a bind and fly, how do you charge your battery? First of all, you're not gonna be buying this if this is your first. You need to get it ready to fly. Our links in the video description will link you to either choice. And we make commissions from that, which is really great. And so don't fret though, because when we do our videos, all thousands of them, we always have links. And that doesn't mean that we give a glowing review. we give a glowing review if it's good. And I can tell you this, we have been really happy with the RC Era lineup. So far, this is just our Unbox build radio setup. Good Lord, that's a long cable. We have many of these USB-A to USB-C cables, and this is all you need to do to charge it. This just happens to be a special 65 watt charger, but you can just, a run-of-the-mill charger will work fine. Plug it into the outlet, flip the helicopter over, squeeze this in and this in simultaneously, and it will release. The more robust the helicopter, the higher the output. This one's a 350 milliamp hour, but this is a 2S battery. See how it says 7.4 volts? Okay. And then what you do is you just plug in your USB-C here, and then lights should immediately light through this particular hole. Now, of course, you wouldn't know that that hole was there unless you had the light on, or you wouldn't know that it was any different than the rest of the vent holes, okay? But then also when you're running the helicopter, this battery will be your power button, okay? Now, if you get to the smaller helis, which I'm hoping that RC Air is going to be releasing more in this size class because it's very good.
There's already at least one more on the way.
And so if you look at this, that battery charges on the bottom. Some of them charge on the bottom, some charge on the inside, some charge on the side. It doesn't really matter to me, but the point is this is a one cell, 220 milliamp hour, but there's no power button. So as soon as you push that in, it engages the pins and starts running. So if you're gonna store your batteries in your models, make sure that you don't push them all the way in, okay? So now, not to muddy the waters, this helicopter is really awesome looking. And frankly, I don't know if this battery's charged. I wish I would have charged that battery for that Bell 206 the other day.
Oh.
So, because then it would have been ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So in our case, we have the opportunity to fly it right now. Even though it's a little bit windy, we're gonna see how it does in the wind, but we need to go through the binding process. So what we'll probably do is I'm gonna just borrow this battery and just show you. We just looked at it. It was 7.4 volts, to cell.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that one looks the same, doesn't it? 7.4 volts.
I would think
350 milliamp hour. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can steal this battery just to show you how to set up. The binding procedure is super easy. It's like a 3-second procedure. You don't need to do a bind plug or anything like that. We are going to use the more sophisticated transmitter. Even though I could probably fly this upside down in here, I'm not going to do it in here. I'm just going to do it outside where we have a little bit more room. Okay. So just lay this on its back, push this in, make sure it snaps both sides. Okay. And if you can't tell, hold the helicopter from the side and evaluate right there, okay? You can see that it's not seamed all the way up. Make sure it's snapped. So like if it's just pulled out a little bit like this, you're not in, okay? And the problem is it'll work until it falls out, and then your helicopter will magically stop.
It will.
So press it in, make sure that it's purchased up here where your pins are, okay? Now, also side, that's what I like to do, side, okay? All right, so turning this on for the first time, you actually turn on the helicopter first, which is bizarre, okay? So this being like a pseudo toy grade helicopter, you would never turn on a full-size hobby grade helicopter without the transmitter on first, because you want to be in command and control, but this is a binding procedure, okay? So pressing the power button, listening to beeping, awesome.
Cool.
That is so good, and I love the blade design, looks absolutely gorgeous. Forward facing, nav lights in the correct position. How do you know it's in the correct position, camera crew?
Red is right returning.
Is that the right side?
Yes.
When it's returning?
Yes.
Yes, good. So that's sweet, and then we have the anti-crash beacon down here. It'd be kind of cool if it was up here, because that's, I think, where it would be in real life. But even still, we have a forward-facing light. And I do like that this light has a screw on it. I'm not really sure if that's just the way that they have the case. It'd be cool if you could actually reposition the light a little bit. Not a fan of the fact that that glows through, okay? It'd be nice to have an opaque finish on it so it didn't glow through. It would help sell the light feature a little better. The other thing too is a reflective on here would help to bring the light to life. Okay, now turning this on, it goes to a fast flash. So it's attempting to bind up, then down. Wait for the flash to stop, and as you can see, we are ready to go.
Oh, that flash is on the bottom, that anti-crash.
Well, and that is, yeah, that is gonna stay flashing, which is totally sweet. Now, one thing to keep in mind with these helis too, as you get ready to fly them, the first time you take off a helicopter, you're not sure things are gonna work right. So if you wanna calibrate it, you pull those sticks down to your left, okay? And that's gonna do a sequence of flashing, okay? So then it's done. That's how hard it is. But this is a nice flat surface. Don't do that on the grass or something where you might be at a little bit of an angle because it will learn the incorrect position, okay? Now, this is a brand new heli, so we'll just put it down here and we'll give ourselves just a little bit more room. It's a little bit bigger helicopter. So all we need to do is arm it. So sticks down and out. It spools up. I'm fully confident this is gonna fly, so I can press up on the collective, okay? And then it's gonna come up to a certain altitude, which is pretty awesome. And then I can go up. I'm in speed 1, we got a little bit of a cant. Look at the blades. The disc looks absolutely fantastic.
Cool.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so just rotating it so you guys can see. I wanna see if it's got a clean yaw to it, okay? So the clean yaw, whoa, see it's got a little bit of a turn going when I yaw, okay? So if I give a little bit of forward to advance the heli, it does great. Now keep in mind, you guys are watching this as the Unbox Build radio setup. We're gonna be flying it outside at the beginning, the onset of our videos. That's what we do on Brian Phillips RC. That is so, so sweet. And also, I wanna show you this, guys. As I rotate, it's rolling. Like for whatever reason, when I yaw this way, it yaws clean, okay? So it's barely losing its position, a little bit of movement, but then watch this. When I yaw the other way, okay, so pretty good, but a little bit of movement. Now I'm gonna go the other way. Which way did I go? Right?
Yeah.
Now, so that's right, that's left. See what I'm talking about? It loses its position more. As a pilot of flying RC airplanes and stuff, that's not a big deal to me, but it is noteworthy, okay? So we bring this stuff to your attention because at the end of the day, we want you to be aware that there is a certain amount of movement there. Love the way the disc looks. Looks fantastic. Very good control up and down. I'm not giving it full input. That's about 10% input. I would do full output outside, but I don't want to run into the ceiling, okay? So now remember, we're in speed number 1. That means right here, I'm all the way to the left. I'm gonna go to the middle, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fly a little bit. Guys, remember, I'm not giving full stick inputs or anything here, but I just wanna see how responsive it is. It is pretty good. It's not got a ton of power, but I love the way it looks. And look how rock solid this is, guys. I'm flying right next to my face hole. That is definitely not something I would do with a crappy helicopter, okay? So as you can see, flying around Camera Crew, you could totally handle this one. You see what I'm talking about? Look at the pitch. As you go from a counter like this, that downward facing sensor is gonna attempt to arrest its movement by looking down, okay? So I'm gonna just tell you this right now. If you don't have a huge distinction in ground look, it may not hold as good. Now, if I go over the top of that F7F, let's watch this. Okay, over here we've got, you know, like more distinguishing features. It's gonna hold still really good, I think. Nope, it's just kind of getting suction next to the wall.
Yeah.
So as you're flying, it feels very solid, okay? So absolutely no problems there. I'm in speed 2, and just so you guys can watch here with my sticks, I'm not hardly giving it anything, which is what you want on a heli. That means there's room to spare in the cyclic controls, and that's gonna give you better responsiveness, but also it's not hard to fly. As you let go, it's gonna slide a little bit. That's something you don't wanna see with an optical float sensor, but I can live with it. I don't have a big problem with it. It will eventually find its home position and stay still. You know what? It might have come back to where it was when I let go. See, watch this.
I think it did.
Forward, let go, okay? It's trying to go back to where it was, but it's also got a little bit of drift. But boy, oh boy, that looks so good. Okay, now speed level 3, we've got 3 beeps as we slide that left button over. Very good responsiveness. Look at that, a little bit of losing its position. I think part of the problem is, you see how it went up?
Yep.
I think what might be happening is that because that optical flow sensor is slightly behind the center of the actual rotor, it's seeing movement and trying to respond to it. So as I rotate, it's trying to correct. As soon as I let go, it may be a little erratic. See, it has to find that last known position, okay? So let's come and land on the counter. If you want to just stay there, you can see pretty good, right?
Yes.
So as I come over to the counter, remember I'm in speed 3, so this is the highest level of authority we're gonna have over this aircraft. Oh, there it goes, so flashing, good, we get to demonstrate this. Keep in mind, we're charging another battery. This is not a full flight time. This is whatever we had stuck into that little heli. Might be full, this is beeping, so we're getting feedback, beep, beep. I'm trying to hold this right next to my mic so you guys can hear the beeping. Again, pro feature, okay? Now I'm gonna come over here and land. The slow flash means we have full control authority, pulling down on the stick now all the way down on the stick, and it kills the motor as it's sensed that it's on the ground. I wanna take back off and show you what it looks like. Let's see if we can do stop. Stop does not take off.
The takeoff landing is at the bottom in the dark gray.
Oh, that's right. So take off.
It's different on that controller.
Sorry, I missed that, guys. Okay, now I arrested that from going up because I didn't want it to go up as high, but I'm gonna fly this around just carefully and in a very controlled environment, and I want you guys to see what happens when it gets to the fast flash, because it's still beeping for me, and we'll give the camera crew some really close looks at the disc, whether it's on the top or the side. I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
There we go, there's
go.
fast flash. And then you lose collective input, okay? So what that means is that as that thing dies in the fast flash, you're not gonna be able to arrest movement downward, and that is maybe one drawback. So as soon as you start hearing the beep, 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 you need to respond and land, especially if you're flying over something like our pond or a creek or somewhere where it's gonna be difficult to get that helicopter back. So like if you're flying over a waterway, you definitely are gonna notice a difference in the optical flow sensor. They tend to work pretty poor over water in our experience. Many times, even with these more sophisticated helicopters that are, you know, like in the $1,000 range, $900 range, $700, $800 range, they will sometimes slide. And as soon as you let go and stop over grass, they're good. But you go over the shore and they'll just slip, 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 slip like they're on ice. It does not mean it's hard to fly. You still have good cyclic input. It doesn't change anything as you change the cyclic there, but it does make it loose, okay? So the whole objective of whether it be a TF sensor or whatever they call it, these optical flow sensors are taking imaging and making decisions about change, direction of change, amplitude of change, and then acting upon that input, okay? So it's similar to the stabilization on the pitch, roll, and yaw axis, because we do have stabilizers that act on those axes as well. Of course, there's a certain amount of gyroscopic impact from having a helicopter with a disc that spins, okay? So beautiful. Now, we did not showcase inside the flying upside down, but keep in mind, if you want to do the upside down flip over, you have to be in speed 3. And then what you have to do is you have to do 3D up on mode 2. Or if you're using a mode 1 transmitter, it's over here. So it's trimming on the collective, okay? So I don't believe that actually trims, which is why that button, the trimmer, is used in this case, okay? Because they didn't have to install what would be a 3rd button or a 4th button. I think that they make this transmitter, the generic maker of this particular body style, has one that has 4 buttons, if I recall, because we've had a few different aircraft that have this same body style.
That have more buttons.
Nothing to do with RC era, by the way. I'm sure it's just like anything else. RC era buys these, they bring them in, they use them, okay? Very cool, very impressive flight envelope. I feel very much in control of this helicopter as I fly. I've got no concerns that it's gonna run into the wall or the ceiling, or I'm gonna lose control of it, or it's gonna go up and hit a light. So absolutely no problems flying that inside. Also, I'm gonna demonstrate this only, I shut off my transmitter, I'm gonna turn it back on. You'll notice it goes back to slow flash. Then it goes to solid. I'm gonna turn it back on. Okay, once it's on, I'm gonna go up and then down. You'll notice it's going to fast flash as it's binding. Up, then down, you see? Okay, so this might let me arm. So what I wanna do is I wanna show you, you may actually still have enough juice in that thing. You can use this other style of transmitter. It went to a solid and slow flash, okay? So the other style on speed level 0, or 1 rather, not 0. No way I said that. And then stick up, then down. We're gonna bind, we're bound. Now, I do not know if this is gonna take off, but I just wanna show you that it can bind. Okay, so it may not let me do it. So sticks down and out. See if it'll let me take off.
I bet it won't with the
I bet
battery.
it won't with the low battery. So I just turned off this transmitter and I'm gonna disconnect this battery. Okay, this is now dead, but this pack is still on. And you can tell by that flashing light, okay? Now, lucky for me, I actually have another battery right here that happens to be the same 2S 350 milliamp hour. Yep, I do. Okay, so what do you do to charge this? First of all, if it's real hot, like feel that. It's not cool, but it's not like crazy.
Real hot.
Okay, but you gotta remember there's a case around this.
Right.
There's a cabinet of plastic that goes around that LiPo. Okay, so lithium polymer packs, when they're hot, it's not like a great time to charge them, but we'll go ahead and charge them in this case. I'll just demonstrate with, whoops. I'll demonstrate with this other random cable. These are just random cables I'm grabbing. There's nothing special. This is an Asus charger. You can see the wattage or whatever right there. This is 1.35 amps, real low wattage at 5.1 volts. Plug that in and we'll go ahead and charge this one, the one that we just used, which incidentally has a solid light now, belonged to the old Bell 206. You'll notice that this light is still on, so it's still charging as well. So we're gonna take this other battery that we have lying around and we're gonna install this and show you that you can use the other style of transmitter, but you're gonna lose some features. You need to be aware of that, okay? So slide that in, make sure the sides are locked, and you heard that click. I didn't hear it, or you guys probably didn't hear it on the camera, but okay, so I'm gonna press and hold this. Turns on, you hear an audible beep from the helicopter. Turn on your transmitter, stick up then down, let it bind. Now you can press this and it'll take off, or you can arm and take off with the up arrow or the collective. Now I canceled my lift with the collective control, and as you can see, we are flying just like we were before. The only difference, of course, is that I don't have access to the flying upside down, but it's flying great. It's on speed level 1, now 2, now 3, and as you can see, it's still fully controllable, and there's really nothing, I'm not losing anything here, okay? Speed 3 is very good. I feel like this thing has very good control authority, and I love flying this helicopter. It's one of my favorites. I talk about it a lot on the channel for somebody that is needing to get into helis that can't afford one of the $1,000 helicopters. This is gonna still give you a great flight experience. Okay, now I'm gonna pull this down and just get it to where I want to touch down, and then eventually it shuts off. I didn't even have the stick all the way down, okay? So now that we're done with that flight, just wanted to demo that. Flip it over and either press the power button to turn it off, and then you can stow it. My only issue is you may want to think about disconnecting this and letting it fall out a little bit so that your pins are not penetrating. What happens is that these pins, these are sockets, of course. They press up against a contact point. And over time, when you slide a battery in, it's gonna have a little bit of pressure and there'll be hysteresis on that piece of metal. And it will eventually wear it down to where there's less contact. It's not gonna stop working. It's gonna last longer than the life of the LiPo in most cases, in my opinion. But it is kind of hard on those connectors. You'll notice that I don't always store them in the helis, but I do sometimes. Where I do is when I have a bunch of the same or similar styles of helis. It's just that we have a few of them. And also I take out the bigger ones that are more obvious. Like this white one clearly belongs to one of the white helicopters, like that one, okay? Or that one, okay? These ones are from a different variety and brand, but I would love it if our Sierra would start making some of these bigger ones because they do a great job. And I'm not just saying that because this happens to be a video that's showcasing a an RC era product. We work with a lot of products, and we frankly don't care who makes them. We just want them to be good. And we've seen a huge improvement in helis over the years. Now, the number one complaint that you heli aficionados are gonna have, and I am starting to agree with you to a certain extent, is that you can't turn off the auto leveling and stabilization. Now, I don't want to turn off stabilization ever as a pilot of my skill level. Never. I never want it off. Okay? But I do want to be able to turn off the auto leveling so I can fly it like a regular heli. Also, spring return to center is not the same as flying a proper hobby grade helicopter where you've got a collective that can slide all the way up and down and it returns to neutral. Now, admittedly, when you fly a helicopter, you're usually flying with that stick in the center position. So spring return to center is not the end of the world, because obviously when you're going up, you go past 0. When you're going down, you go below 0, even in the regular flight mode, okay? Now, normal flight mode, or like what people use to take off and run safe on an AS3X equipped or Horizon products, Spectrum products, you know, you're gonna tend to take off from, you know, -100 up to the center, and then just a little bit past to go up, take off, and then most people go into a stunt 1 or a stunt 2, and then they do what they're gonna do. Maybe they go to stunt 1 for normal moderate flying and stunt 2 when they wanna do more heavy 3D. This helicopter is capable, hypothetically, we haven't seen it yet because we are gonna go outside and fly it for this. It is capable of flying upside down sustained, and then the controls become identical to an upright helicopter. So it flies like this. The roll axis would stay the same, just so you guys know, but the pitch axis is automatically swapped for you. The yaw axis is automatically swapped for you. So it flies just like this is the way it's supposed to fly, which is freaky D. So just to demonstrate this, I'm gonna go ahead and fold the blade just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. That would be go forward. That would be go back. That would be roll left, that would be roll right. It's the only axis that would stay the same. Yaw would be reverse, pitch would be reverse, okay? Now, here's the thing about a brain. When you learn to fly airplanes, helicopters, quads and VTOLs, okay? Well, maybe not quads and VTOLs because it depends on how they're set up. But generically speaking, flying airplanes is a lot like flying helicopters, and flying helicopters is a lot like flying airplanes. But it's not exactly the same. There's gonna be minor differences, and I fly in mode 2 world. You might be flying in mode 1 world. You can translate, your brain will translate those things. And when you really start to learn to fly, like actually learn and know what you're doing, you will not think about the stick conditions. You will think about, I want it to do that thing, and it will happen without you thinking about it and translating it. When I try to vocalize what I'm doing, I make mistakes, because my brain has muscle memory that's tied to my thumbs, okay? And you're probably thinking, Brian, I'll never get there. Yes, you will. You will.
Well, I mean, it might not.
Megan won't, okay? But you will, okay? If you fly a lot, you will.
Yeah.
And the guys that do crazy 3D actions have memorized stick positions, and then they can fly it.
They just
and
do
they
it.
will take and they will fly a helicopter upside down. They call it in a box, in a box, in a box, and they will practice in a box. And I don't do that yet. I'm getting there, okay? And I will fly any one of these planes, or helicopters rather. I will fly them. I'm practicing in a box. I'm learning to fly. And you're like, but Brian, you know how to fly. No, I'm learning to fly helicopters. I am not a helicopter pilot. I am an airplane pilot. I know how to fly airplanes, but helicopters, I know how to fly helicopters. And you can know how to fly helicopters. If you fly one of these GPS heli drones, you don't need to know how. You just go outside, you fly in the correct environment, and you'll be fine. Oh, by the way, let's weigh this and make sure people understand it's gonna be fully legal. It's definitely sub 250.
Oh, right.
Should be no problem. The other day, that little one was only like what, 60 grams or something?
Yeah, 62 or something.
Okay, so we'll just throw the battery on there, 20 grams, 22 grams. And so 113 grams all up.
Perfect.
Okay, totally fine, well within the tolerance. And now you ask me, well, what's so special about 250? I don't know, you have to ask politicians. I don't know why politicians are regulating our toys.
They totally know.
Because bad people are gonna do bad things with whatever they can get their hands on. And I don't really think you're gonna stop bad people from doing bad things when you're talking about toys and toys. Even big toys like this. This toy could hurt somebody, okay? It's still a toy.
Yeah.
Now, it may be an awesome toy, and it may be an expensive toy, and it may be big and capable of carrying a payload that could hurt people. But at the end of the day, how do you stop people from hurting people? You don't stop them with regulations against toys. No. You fix their heart, okay? And I'm not gonna go any further. But at the end of the day, we have the police working for us now.
Good,
okay?
sweet,
So we're
good.
We're exempt. Oh, and by the way, if you need a remote ID and you're just hard on about remote ID,
well, you don't need
just squish this thing in there, or this thing in there. Squish that in there. You can tape that on, fill it with put lots of aluminum tape on there so it works really good.
Perfect.
So it reflects the signal out. But all joking aside, you're not gonna need that on this particular aircraft. Hopefully we have showcased enough of the differences between this and the red and white one.
Yep.
Red, white, and black one there, that you'll understand that there is some additional value. There is an additional cost. I'm always willing to bear a little bit of additional cost for LEDs. LEDs are a nightmare to add on some of these models.
Especially that small.
If it's a big airplane, it's like relatively easy to do. It just takes time. We used to do it all the time, but it just really is not practical or necessary for us to do that because we have so many of them now.
Right.
Also, when these things are done charging, you're gonna notice that that red light shuts off, okay? Now keep it in mind, if you have this on when you go to charge it, then it becomes a little bit ambiguous. You want to be careful about doing that, okay? Now also, just to demonstrate, every single time you start an RC era aircraft, okay? Okay, we'll just do this again. Side, side, power. Okay, power on, up, down. You are always binding.
Yes.
100% of the time. So bind and fly, the first time RCR was like, oh, well, let's do a bind and fly this time.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, okay, whatever.
One more
Because I'm
thing.
like, I have transmitters for all the things that we have. Because at the end of the day, I just don't want the question. I don't want the ambiguity. I don't want to have, you know, one come missing a part or some stupid thing, because we review these things. We want to get them out the door, right? Well, at the end of the day, you're always binding. It really adds very little to have additional transmitters. And then of course you have the proverbial 4 AA batteries from Harbor Freight Tools that cost like $1.
Right, that's a huge expense.
So our kids are not gonna be able to eat that day.
Right.
We have 4 kids. I don't think we spend a little bit more than $1 to feed them.
Yeah.
But that's all right, maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have all the different things you need already if you've got another one.
Yes.
And no, you don't need the premium transmitter, which frankly, guys, we deal in the hobby. This does not look premium to me, okay?
No.
It's just different.
The only thing is that it's capable of invert. That's the only
AKA there's buttons,
Yeah,
okay?
that's the
I bet
difference.
if you open this thing up, there's probably pins and you could build your own buttons if you're really motivated.
Well, and really the invert is from this trimmer, which exists over here.
Well, yeah, that's true. I wonder if you could still do it.
This just has the emergency stop.
But this is laid out different. So I wonder if there's a different protocol by which these buttons act.
So get your first RC era transmitter in a ready to fly of something that's inverted, and then it will do all of that.
And then it'll do exactly. That's a great point. Now, what protocol does it use? Can I use OpenTX? Can I use Spectrum? I don't know. Probably not.
You can use, there is an OpenTX Radio Master for at least some of the pro ones. Not Spectrum, not anything else.
Okay.
I mean, we don't use that.
Camera crew knows.
No camera crew can read directions because somebody has to.
Like in English?
Yes.
Or
and
Japanese?
Chinese.
Chinese.
I know Chinese.
Some Asian language,
Yeah.
Mandarin. Okay, guys, that is what you get with an Unbox build radio setup for Bright Phillips RC. We talk about a lot of things that may or may not be desperately necessary to you and your world. And so if you're here looking for a quick answer, I know that we're not real good at that. That's because we do long format and I'm the one talking. So at the end of the day, we want to bring you the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And one of the things I'm going to tell you right now is I am going to color these blades. So why don't I just do that before we go outside? I'm going to show you exactly how I do it.
Okay.
It is rocket science-y and crazy, but I do like that you can see that on the disc. But I want to mark top and bottom. Why do I want to mark top and bottom? I'm going to get the fattest. This is king sized.
Excuse me.
So this is what I do. if I'm gonna do this with the marker, and I know this is sort of stupid because it's a really hyper-specific thing to do, and you guys might not be into this sort of thing, but it is really, really easy to do. And I like to show things like this because this is just how I roll, okay? Brian Phillips RC loves to add unnecessary detail to models, okay? So I'm gonna take a piece of tape.
And life in general.
This tape sucks, by the way.
It does.
We would
It's
link
terrible.
to it, except it's been terrible.
It's terrible.
We used to get the same exact brand from the same exact supplier.
No, it's a different supplier. Amazon told us it was the same.
Okay, so look. So I use that piece of tape so that it makes it easier to get a straight line, okay? Now you're probably thinking to yourself, Brian, like this is not really that hard. We can figure out how to mark it. I understand that, but we tell the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God on YouTube, because there's a lot of reviewers on YouTube that will just blast a line of BS to sell a few planes or helis. We want for the success of this hobby, and we intend to keep telling the full truth because it helps you guys make better sense of the million options. See how easy that was? Seconds. Now I'm not gonna bore you with the entire process, and admittedly, the tail feathers are a bit of a pain. So I'm gonna show you how I do the tail feathers too, and then you guys could just, through osmosis, figure out how I did this. Pay special attention to the direction that's going, okay? Because it'll be hard to tell when you're done marking it. Okay, it's curved, so it's like pushing the tail that way.
Okay.
Okay, so pull that off, it's just a pressure fit. And by the way, if you ever have to fix one, that's the same thing. The reason I show you this is because it's a little tough if you don't mask it. See that stretchy crap? Look at that, that shouldn't stretch. Okay, so I'm just gonna push this down here, and then I just do 2 at a time, right? I just hold that down real quick. I just do 1 line at a time. See, I've got all my fingerprints all over it. Just come down here real quick.
And as you move it, it's not gonna pull the
It won't pull it.
marker off?
Nope. So then I just go quick over the top. And I mean, I still kind of try to get it in the center, okay? And then I can take this and peel it off. Boom. And then the other side, geez, I should have just used a piece of paper. Usually I use a piece of paper. I don't know why I decided I would get a paper towel today. That worked so fantastically. But you can see, very basic, very simple. And I didn't do a real great job of that because I'm trying to do it on camera quickly. But the truth is, real easy. And then of course you transpose the marks. Now they have some that are red, some that are white. My issue is don't paint them. Paint adds a lot of weight. If you're gonna paint, painting is a whole process. And yes, I have painted blades before. And yes, I do occasionally do it. But especially on rotors, you don't wanna add a ton of weight. Even the ink has weight, okay? It's just not very much, it's very minimal. Okay, so at the end of the day, we want to show the entire process so you guys get a feel for what you might want to do also. And I can tell you this, what you want to do right now is buy this thing from the links in the video description below. You support Brian Phillips RC and what we do for the hobby, which includes spending a crap load of money to build this aerodrome that we're living on, which is amazing and awesome. You can see they cut the hay, which is fortunate for me because I didn't have to cut it. You can see the hay's cut, and over there we've got trusses sitting there. It's gonna be awesome, guys. So the damn runway base is in. Just to give you an idea, we used to live in town. If you followed the channel for a long time, we used to live in town. We had neighbors that were awesome. We flew in the neighborhood all the time. It was not illegal when we started. It was probably against the rules by the time we were done. But we eventually got right with the law and got a police helicopter and
moved away.
So at the end of the day, we love flying. We want to give you good advice so it's actionable and also helps you to sort through the plethora of millions of choices out there. We love this hobby. We're going to keep doing it as long as you guys keep coming back. So thanks for being there with us. If you want to support us in other ways, you just don't want this heli, you've already got the other one. Maybe you got something you love and you just want to have 1 or 2 big helis and then mostly your airplane guys. That's cool. That's probably most of our audience. But I'm going to tell you this. These helicopters are awesome and they are cheap. That little one over there is like 60 bucks.
Yep, the A60 now. Yep.
That is so cheap and it is so fun, okay? And yes, I did paint the tips with a red marker. Yeah. Yes. You know why? Because my camera crew crashed it violently into the wall and I had to clean the tip up.
She did. Somebody equated the little RC era helicopters, they're like Matchbox cars for like big boys. But you can have a whole bunch of them and all different things.
If I could have had these Matchbox toys as a kid, I would have killed for it, literally. These are so much fun, and they make it easy to fly. And I'm gonna tell you that you will not learn to fly a helicopter flying these. you will make progress toward the capability to translate into a hobby grade helicopter.
Yeah.
I am doing that now. I am proof positive that it can be done. I had a helicopter before we even ran the YouTube channel, earlier in our marriage when we couldn't afford anything. And like all the birthday and Christmas presents got added up, and my family bought me this helicopter, okay? It was expensive, we couldn't afford it. And it was awesome, and I loved it, and I sucked. And I crashed into my wife's cabinets. I've told the story a number of times. There were oak cabinets that damaged the door. That I was stricken to the basement. At the time, we were in a 3-story townhouse. The basement was a garage. Then we had like our living quarters, and we had like our bedrooms, right? And I used to have to fly in that 2-car garage. I would pull the cars out, I could fly in there. Then we moved to a bigger house. I had a basement that was unfinished, had tons of rooms, still sucked, okay? Still couldn't fly upstairs. And then flash forward like almost 15 years, and now I can fly inside my living room, and it's awesome.
Not with that one, though.
No, that one, I don't even think I could fly that one.
Yeah,
in the living room. I would never fly that up here now. I wouldn't fly one of these fly wings up here, but I probably could.
Right.
I wouldn't fly this any of the blades or like the M4 or M4 Max or anything like that in here, because that'd be crazy. But the thing is, I could do it.
Yeah.
Physically, I could do it.
Yeah.
Here's the difference. There has never been an easier time in the history of time to learn to fly RC. And I say that a lot, but it's still hard. Okay? I sometimes catch myself forgetting how hard it is to learn. These things are not hard to fly. If you're brand new, and yes, you can crash them, and yes, they will work still, usually, okay? We usually crash them on camera to just show that they'll work. I'm planning on probably crashing it outside on accident. So I just need to survive for the video, okay? But they usually don't self-destruct. That is something that was not true 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Even on small helis, they would break, okay? And we have examples of some of the smaller helis, and they started to have a little bit better survivability as they got lighter, and they got better survivability as we had stabilization, but mostly auto leveling. You used to get a gyro for the tail, and that was all you got. Otherwise, no soup for you, okay? So, beautiful, awesome experience. Don't let it pass you by. Don't wait 6 months or a year to do this. There's no excuse not to start flying these things now. If you don't have a good flying site, I don't care. You can fly this in your house. You should be fine. We have high ceiling, 16-foot ceiling in here. That's unusual, I realize, but a lot of you guys have high ceilings. Even an 8-foot or 7-foot ceiling, you should be able to fly this thing. You can fly this in a bedroom, okay?
Go fly it in your garage or your basement or whatever.
You can go outside and fly these. We're going to demonstrate it here at the beginning of the video. You've already seen it. So there's no excuse for that. They're sub 250. There's no legal issues. You don't have to worry about it. It's not like one of these where you technically have to have a remote ID or fly in a FRIA in the United States if you want to be legal, okay? Now, the other thing is you could just do whatever you want. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm not suggesting you break the law, but I really could care less. That's between you and your government. And by the way, keep your government in check, just like we try our best. At the end of the day, I think the government's trying to do good, but sometimes they're just dumb, okay? So this is an awesome helicopter. It's got to be great. I don't know why they spelled police wrong though. Should we cross it out?
No.
They spelled RCR in English, but then they put, is that French?
I think it's Italian.
Italian?
Okay. I think I could be wrong, but I think it's Italian.
Is he chasing a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Do we need to get a Lamborghini out? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay, so hopefully we answered all your questions about this helicopter. If you want to buy one, support us. Links are in the video description below. I don't know if the links will also pick up on the other options, but since we discussed them, we'll probably go ahead and include those.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, go to bprc.me. That's our website. Or you go to brianphillipsrc.com if you want to type it all out. That's fine. Same place. Exactly the same place. Then click on sort by type, and there's a helicopter tab. But we're gonna have to make another helicopter.
I know, I'm gonna split them up somehow.
Because there's so many of them. But what you do is you just go through and you see my smiling face with whatever I'm holding out, just like we always do. You've seen our thumbnails, you've responded to them, it looks like that. You'll find exactly what you want. You can either go to buy one, or you can go to the playlist. And if it's got like a battery or something like that, sometimes we have the battery that's recommended or the receiver that's recommended. Yep. Camera Crew keeps up on the website. We have one of the few influencers websites that's actually current and up to date.
As much as possible.
Maiden does it. And it is very difficult to keep up on all this stuff because we have a moving target we're trying to hit now. We do our best not to bring you stuff you can't buy because it's very frustrating as an RC hobby enthusiast to see a brand new release that is not available the same day we review it. That really irritates us. And also it makes it hard for us to earn any money doing it, okay? So at the end of the day, our aim is not necessarily to make money, but we do spend a crap load of money doing this. And so we're just offsetting some of the financial bleeding. And when I say the bleeding, I mean the interest. It's called interest. For those of you that don't pay interest, you wouldn't understand. But we pay a lot of it on these projects.
Right.
We're barely covering that. So just keep in mind, we love this hobby. It's not totally selfless because we do make some money, but it is selfless because we love it and we want to see it grow. I have enough helicopters and airplanes. I could fly them every day of my life and never have enough to actually ruin them before I die, okay? But I still want more, just like you. So at the end of the day, we're gonna do our best to bring you the best reviews with the most articulate information sharing that we can humanly do. And that means I do have limits. I'm just one guy. I do my best, but I do have a very broad spectrum of comparisons, okay? You might not, okay? So we wanna try to help you make good decisions so that your limited RC budget is gonna get you as far as you can get and advance as quick as possible into what you really wanna get to, which most people kind of get to a spot where they're comfortable, like, hey, I don't wanna spend any more. Hey, I don't wanna spend any more on a routine basis. You know, hey, I wanna get the turbine jets. Hey, I wanna get to, you know, this size class, whatever it is. We'll help get you there on Brian Phillips RC. That's what we do. We've been doing it for 10 years. We're gonna keep doing it. Like I said, so long as you guys keep coming back. So love this hobby, love the people in it, and we wanna spread the love and joy of this hobby by giving you the truth, okay? The truth is hard to come by on the internet, okay? This is a great heli. I can already tell it's gonna fly fine outside, even though we do have a little bit of wind, you can see out there. So if you guys are curious about, hey, can I do it in the wind? You'll be able to make that judgment call. We are gonna fly down in the trees and around the water though, so you can see how that was. That being said, other ways to support us if you just can't get this or your wife's gonna leave you or whatever it is, whatever your good excuse is. We have Patreon for monthly support. Thanks for being supporters, guys. I can't remember the number, but I know it's a couple $100 a month. It's not like it's, you know, a huge issue, but it's really helpful. All the little bits add up. And then YouTube members, thanks for being members. YouTube super thanks if you want to throw us $5 if we help save you from a horrific disaster. Like say you were going to buy that Spitfire from Hobby King the other day and you realized it was like a 3.5 hour frustrating build. By the way, it's worth it. It's an awesome plane. Or you want to buy this Avios here from Hobby King. Again, competitive brands. I'm sure RC Aaron loves us talking about it. And you realize that we had it done on a rival servo. Well, so what? Hopefully you don't. Awesome plane. One of my favorite 3Ds. Just going to say. Just recent vintage. That's why I bring up 2 Hobby King products or the airliner. Love it. Absolutely awesome. I don't have an AL37. Sorry. Motion doesn't work with us. They don't want to see them in our kitchen. Well, too bad for you. Good luck with somebody else. Anyway, the last thing is, if you want to support us in other ways, we have PayPal. If you just can't be part of those groups, we totally get it. No problem. No harm, no foul. And then we have a P.O. box. If you need to send us something, just let us know so we know to check it. We just don't check it often, okay? But at the end of the day, the best thing you do to support Brian Phillips RC and our exploits into the RC hobby is to watch the videos, smash the like button, click the bell for notifications when you do subscribe. And then when you see something you like, buy it from the links. That's all we'd ever ask of you. Those other options are just there for people that maybe don't want to do the normal things, but you still want to support, okay? Super cool. We appreciate it. Whatever you can do is always appreciated. Here on Brian Phillips RC, we know we're not in this alone because you keep having our backs. Okay? So we're gonna keep doing what we can. And by the way, C138, okay? Competitive brand, right? You remember when there was a recall? You wanna know who caused that? That was me. So at the end of the day, we work hard to protect your interest because that thing had some problems. And they stepped up and fixed it, hypothetically. I still tend to think that it's probably not their shining conqueror, okay? That 412, awesome.
Yep.
That 206, awesome. V4 Huey, 4, meaning there was 3 that didn't survive, awesome, okay? So at the end of the day, we are working behind the scenes to help you because they know that we're not gonna lie about their products that they wanna get to you for. So we're trying our best to be the go-between and strike the balance between truth and advertising, whatever they wanna call it, and spewing lies from China, because we know China likes to do that. This is part of their business model, after all. We're gonna help you sort through it. That's what we do. all the time. We always have, we always will. And that's because we love this hobby enough that it's going to outlive each of the brands we work with, you know? I hope. And we hope you guys get it. There's easier ways to make a buck. So at the end of the day, we are in it for the right reasons. We love this. We didn't start to make money, and we started loving it, or at least I did. And then my wife was dragged into it like a black hole.
Yes.
Right? Is that pretty much it?
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
The black hole. All right, speaking of black holes, I got to take a marker and mark these things, and then we're going to fly outside. Thanks, guys, for watching. Brian Phillips RC's got your back, and we hope you guys see it. If you have a personal story to help encourage us or somebody else that's getting into the hobby, leave it in the comments below. If you have questions, I mean, honestly, we've answered most of the questions that we can answer about this particular aircraft. We'll do our best if you throw something out there that we didn't know about. But just leave in the comments below here on YouTube. Also, if you're looking for a video that's like a similar aircraft, you just can't remember what it's called because all these Chinese companies come up with these like stupid names like C138. I don't even know what that means. It's not the blade size. It's just like some model progression. If you see it on bprc.me, you can watch the video about it right there. And it'll be just like this, long format, unfortunately long-winded, but it's going to get you an overview of a product, so you can do a product comparison right then and there. This is a little bit of a nuance. We don't normally put them all together like this when there's a newer release like this Pro feature, but we do want to show you the differences that make this unique. It might help to tip the scales on the more expensive offering versus a cheaper one. I'm going to just tell you this, guys. There's a lot of you that will be perfectly fine for.
Right.
I personally, I don't really care about the upside down flight mode.
But it does have better internal guts. Because it has the brushless motor, it has the new...
It's a brushless motor?
Yeah, it has the new...
Oh.
That one has the new guts from this.
Okay.
That's what makes it the Pro
That's
versus
a brushless motor?
this one.
Are you swinging on that?
I read the thing.
So if it's a brushless motor, then it's a brushless motor. This is geared still, as a gear on the output shaft.
Gosh, I hope I don't make... I was reading through the notes.
Which just sounds kind of loud if it's brushless.
Oh.
But anyway, I'm just going to say this right now, even if it's not brushless, we never mean to misrepresent the facts. But I'm going to tell you this. We have been super happy with RCR. We've never had one from RCR that's bad. We have had from other brands that would be in that space that kind of suck bad. And we've had some that I sucked bad as a pilot before I started realizing just how much I loved them, and they helped me to step over some barriers.
Yep.
And that is only capable, I'm only capable of doing that if I can turn off the stabilizer. So RC Air, if you're listening, and I'm sure you're not, listen, give us a mode or a mechanism to turn that off quickly and effectively. Meaning, I want a switch that's easy to reach, and I want to be able to turn off the auto leveling so I can fly it like a regular helicopter, flip it upside down, do TikToks, whatever it is. I mean, this thing's probably not got enough power to do those things, and that's fine, and I recognize that fully. I think most helicopter guys recognize that too. But I want to be able to do the things that allow you to crash, especially on these models that are quite forgiving. It's a great place to learn. Plus, then you might sell some more parts. I'm just kidding, but only a little bit. So, that being said, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. A little bit long-winded today on this video, but we really appreciate your support and your loyalty on Brian Phillips RC. Oh, by the way, I mentioned it earlier, click the bell for notifications when you do subscribe. We have so much stuff in queue that I can't go into it right now, and I would even if I could because some of it's early release. We have a few things en route that are gonna be new releases as well. Can't wait to bring them to you. It's gonna be so exciting. We love being able to be first to the party. It doesn't happen all the time, but it warms our hearts. We are super encouraged by your kind words, so leave in the comments below, and we'll see you guys on the next go around. Stay tuned.